Long, long ago, they were people of the jungle, the Adivasi tribes of Bihar. The jungle is not a dangerous place for those who know it. It provides what humans need: security, warmth, shelter, food and water, beauty and good stories. The Adivasi tribes of Bihar were people of the jungle, and the people are still here, but the jungle is being taken away from them. In the open-cast coal mines, machines relentlessly eat away at what was once Adivasi land. Villages that get in the way are wiped out, and the villagers are dispossessed, moved from homes with a small piece of land to live off to homes with none. We are in Jharkhand state in eastern India. The native people, the Adivasis, are at the bottom of the social ladder, and life is hard. Tourists are advised not to go there. There are no spectacular attractions, just the ordinary people of the countryside. Pass it by, the tourist guidebooks say. But we will not. For here is an oasis. An oasis of green growth and of human hope and determination. Though it may appear so, it is not an architect who's developed this place. It is the self-educated Sri Sachidanand Upadhyay, but everyone calls him Yaya.
This was a deserted plot, eroded plot, unattractive, but very cheap. And the things were challenging here. So I thought this was the best place where things were needed. There are very many comfortable places here, but here you had to struggle.
The aim has been to improve conditions for the Adivasis of the district, mostly Munda and Orao people. People who are familiar with a tough life and hard work, but not with getting organised or demanding their rights, or with expecting to be listened to. Because of this, one of the most important objectives was to make the people aware of their own abilities. At the Jagriti Vihara Centre, proper employment has been secured for some, but it's not just the income that's important. It's the new confidence gained by developing each person's unique abilities. For example, the Adivasi culture is traditionally rich in skilled handicrafts. Woven cloth for everyday use is produced in abundance, fast and effectively. Alongside more complex and time-consuming decorative art weaving. Slowly, old traditional patterns emerge. This kind of local artwork gets attention, even from European buyers. Small-scale trade like this is a good thing and provides a useful supplement. But most Adivasi people make their living from the soil, which is fertile but often dry. If the monsoon fails, there is famine. And at this time of the year, in February, there's usually not much growth to be seen. But here, something has obviously changed. A green field in winter is the dream of any North Indian farmer. The ones who are able to get water are really blessed. Water is the magic substance that changes everything. And in the village of Kuntur, they have achieved it. Irrigation has transformed dead winter fields into areas of new growth. In this climate, almost anything can be grown if only water is available. Baiju explains.
Fields like this was quite unthinkable before we had the water irrigation. All depended on rain, and we had that one harvest a year. But we got in touch with Jagriti Vihara and got a lot of help and support. Now we have even planted fruit trees.
To get the water out of the river and onto the fields, all you need is a pump and a couple of 100 meters of pipe. But the equipment isn't free, and the people are poor. Even so, the agricultural authorities can give economical support. That is, if you fill in the forms and apply in the right way. Not so easy if you have problems with reading and writing. They need help from Jagriti Vihara. But when the system is up and running, the farmers can share the running costs.
That's what we do. When the concern is the good of the village, we collect money. The farmers eagerly participate and everyone contribute the best they can.
And when the harvest is doubled, each farmer can contribute more. There is new prosperity in Kuntur now. Baiju and his brother now have a tractor. And Baiju's even got himself a motorbike. The Ministry for Rural Development also demands monthly reports from the irrigation projects, another job that falls to Jagriti Vihara. And all the time, more villages are queuing up to get help.
I felt that I could do something perhaps together with the people. I wanted to help them and expected help from them. I couldn't do anything alone. That is how things started here. And then I call it a center of education, because development means basically education and skill to change your surroundings and your conditions.
And that's why Jagriti Vihara is running schools. They're in short supply, and those who get the chance to attend one feel very privileged. Ratneshwari is 14 years old.
When I was a little girl, that is, before high school, when I wanted to go to primary school, my father wouldn't let me. He was afraid of the roads, the cars and everything, so he said. But I wanted so badly to go, and I begged, but it didn't work. I wasn't allowed. So one day, I just ran away to school.
Like all her classmates, Ratneshwari is highly motivated to work hard at school, even if the subject is complex algebra. This is a high school in McCluskeygunge, and all the students treasure the rare opportunity they have been given. Education is not always so easy. There are certainly some mistakes in your work here, Ratneshwari. You don't have to do this if you don't want to.
I just feel like it. My brother and my cousin were attending school. They're both older than me. Some boys get education, but not girls. Practically no one from my village anyway. In the beginning, I just wanted to go to school because it was fun. But now, I'm aware of the importance of education. I also can show other girls that it is possible. So I have never ever considered quitting school.
But Ratneshwari's duties at home with her parents, her brother and his wife and their 2 children are the same as for any other 14-year-old girl. Her work is vital to the family. Nevertheless, her father accepts her absence for several hours each day, perhaps a little reluctantly. It is a rare and special thing that the family's only daughter is allowed to go to school. The common view is that education for girls is a waste of time and money. And education gives birth to dreams.
Oh, there's so many things I'd like to do. But we are poor, and my father can't afford to pay for further education. I'd really like to serve the people in some way. And the dream is to become a doctor.
All the schools run by Jagriti Vihara put a lot of emphasis on culture. Ratneshwari and the others must learn the songs and dances of their people. So the schools are helping to promote cultural self-confidence in the Adivasis. Public education is supposed to be a legal right for everyone, but the letter of the law is of little help to the children as long as the Jharkhand state authorities are hopelessly far from actually providing it. Therefore, Jagriti Vihara runs as many schools as possible and takes on idealistic and motivated teachers who accept that they will be underpaid. That is why you can see school children in the streets here, even children from poor families who could not afford private school. Trying to provide adequate education isn't the only challenge. When tribal people lose their land and are forced to abandon their old ways of life, their self-esteem suffers. Alcohol can become a problem. Adivasi men often seek comfort in cheap, homemade spirits. Some would say there should be better ways of spending your hard-earned rupees.
But the joys of life they must have. So if you cannot have the things that you need to make you comfortable and happy, then you want to forget your difficulties, your problems, your hardships. And when you drink, you forget them for a while. So they try it time and again. And they become slave to the habit.
Satire on alcoholism is popular in the school play. The students are all too familiar with the subject. Sushil plays the drunkard. But the real Sushil has never tasted a single drop. The leaders of Jagriti Vihara are dedicated idealists working in the spirit of Mahatma Gandhi. They believe in temperance, tolerance, social justice and non-violence. Their hope is that Jagriti Vihara is an idea that will spread from village to village, from district to district. And they receive many visits daily from people who want Jagriti Vihara to start the same kind of project in their own village. Sushil introduces a women's meeting. Alcoholism is widespread among men, but not among women. That is one reason why it can be a good idea to give them priority.
I think that women are a little more sensible. Of course, men and women are together, you know. It's very difficult sometimes to say which one is more important. But for practical purposes, I think all practical purposes, we have to start somewhere. We have to begin. And we have to have our priorities. And women have been our priorities.
Adivasi women of Jharkhand, struggling bravely in the most impossible conditions. They may be used to hard work, but using their own labour to produce something is a new idea. And being something more than the servant of the family.
I certainly wasn't like this before. I had no education, and when I got married, I just stayed home. You know how it is. But then I started thinking that you could do something more with your life. I am a woman, and women are here to serve society. So I got the idea that I might get me a job, and that if I began, other women might want to join in. Because when women improve their conditions, everyone gains.
Says Kiran from Gulzabad. A mother of 3 children in average circumstances. But she is not an average Adivasi woman. Kiran is outspoken and confident and dares to walk her own path. Alongside her duties as housewife, of course. Kiran has tried something new. She is able to make some spare time for herself. Productive time. She and the other women meet as often as they can. They have found a way to use their skills to produce some income. This is one of the Jagriti Vihara self-help groups for women. They have always done needlework for the family, but why not start a small enterprise? Kiran caught on to the idea, and with her as a leader, others joined in.
A lot of women wanted to work here. They are all from the village and haven't got much money. So we started to save little by little, and eventually we were able to buy a sewing machine. Then, of course, we increased our income and we bought yet another one.
2 sewing machines are enough for the moment. Now they are saving what they earn, and as a result, all the group members can benefit.
If any of us needs money, we've got some. A part of what we earn we collect in a special fund. Everybody save as much as they can. No big amounts, of course, but as time goes by, the fund grows a little month by month.
Sometimes you could need something expensive, like medication for a sick child, so you might need to get a small loan.
We always pay back as soon as we can. That's what everybody wants to do. You might slaughter a goat, for instance. We all feel responsible. The fund is common property. It belongs to all of us together.
Earning extra rupees is one thing, but the feeling of having achieved something together is just as important. Self-esteem and confidence in your own abilities is not such an easy thing to find. But Kiran has already gone a long way.
बहुत से ऐसी महिलाएं हैं गांव में जो अपने को सोचती है सिर्फ मेरा जिम्मेवारी है मां बनना और घर परिवार को सेवा करना, लेकिन ऐसा नहीं है। आज महिलाएं समाज में इतना आगे आ गई है, जमीन से लेकर आसमान तक जुड़ गई है।
The Adivasi women of Jharkhand. Colourful, but shy. It can be difficult enough just to stand up and say your name in public.
मेरा नाम सोनिया देवी है। हम गंजे बस्ती के रहने
So Jagriti Vihara deliberately makes the women practice. Practicing coming forward and being visible. The old Adivasi songs can help. They are familiar and help to make you feel more secure, so that even the microphone becomes less scary.
आज की महिलाओं को ऐसा होना चाहिए कि वह कुछ घरेलू उद्योग करे।
Some of the young ones learn fast and can even get brave enough to make a speech.
जिसमें कुटीर उद्योग घरेलू उद्योग के द्वारा एक संस्था चलाए जिसमें अशिक्षित शिक्षित सभी महिलाएं शामिल होकर एक दूसरे का दुख सुख का निदान करें।
Some have learned to write as adults, even if it's only their own name. But not everyone. There are so many things about the women's groups that can make a difference. Training in reading and writing, in organisation and management, planning and decision-making, and above all, perhaps the rare feeling that what women contribute can be really important too. Women, after all, can do almost anything. At the Jagriti Vihara Centre, they are now producing roofing tiles. The aim is to get more small-scale industry like this started. And of course, there is a need for competent people in the kitchen at Jagriti Vihara. All the activities have increased remarkably since the centre was started in 1971, both here and in the villages. Hopes of a better future are beginning to spread.
Before, when I didn't work, I somehow felt not quite alive. When you have a job, you sort of feel that you are really doing something, that you have a skill. I am working quite a bit now, but when the children are growing older, I will work even more.
Without water, there wasn't much we could do. But now that we have got it, we have new possibilities. This year it's not that much perhaps, but next year we will have crops all over this area.
In 2 years' time, I'll graduate from high school and I will find a job and make some money. And then I hope to be able to pay for further education.
The confidence to be optimistic can be vital. Hardships are never far away. unpredictable floods, malaria epidemics, conflicts between the police and the Maoist guerrillas. And always, there are more people who need help. Individual people, each with their own personal hopes for a life lived with at least some basic level of dignity. Dawn over rural Jharkhand. The word Jagriti in Hindi means awakening. The Adivasi people are full of energy and potential. They must be given the chance to become aware of this potential, to learn how to make full use of it in a modern developing India. That is why there is still a vital need for Jagriti Vihara.
मती गुस्सा हो बेरे गोतिया आते जा तेरा बे मती गुस्सा हो बेरे गोतिया आते जा तेरा बे